Hey, what's up? It's E. Smith here, former IBF junior middleweight champion of the world. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Sporting Icons. Cheers.
Right, so this seems to be a big talking point, not just here on YouTube, but across social media in general, where Tyson Fury has yet again said that he's never ever going to fight here in the United Kingdom again. Las Vegas is his home. Now, we can only presume that he's talking about career-wise, fighting-wise in Las Vegas, because obviously he still currently lives here and this is where he raises his family in the UK. Who knows, in time, maybe he's going to up sticks and move out there, who knows. But a lot of people are very, very upset about that. They really are. And, of course, I will be talking about the fact that he's willing to risk himself by mixing with a section of Deontay Wilder's unstable fan base. And I want to go in on them in a minute, okay? So stay tuned for that one. Now, we can talk about different things. We can say, well, because of what happened with the whole British Box Border Control and UCAD situation, where usually if there's an adverse finding for PEDs and any kind of samples, they will deal with it pretty promptly. But for whatever reason, and maybe, I don't know, maybe Tyson Fury is to blame for some of it, I don't know. It went on for how many years? It dragged on and on and on. It was ridiculous. And I'm still convinced that this had a lot to do with his mental attitude, why he started to spiral out of control. I'm convinced that a lot of that is down to this. But there are ways around it. So he doesn't want to give the British Box Border Control their license fee. He doesn't want to be tested by UCAD. Maybe he feels he's going to get set up and whatever else, and that's fine. Because again, while he does have a 2-year backdated ban on his resume, again, that was just agreed because he'd already been out of the ring for well over 2 years and he wanted his license back. So he wanted to get back in the ring and start fighting again. So to end the case, just get it done, they agreed to a compromise, said, okay, fine, just give me a backdated 2-year ban, give me my license back. And that's what happened, okay? Would he have been found guilty anyway? I don't know. Maybe he would have got longer. I don't know. Maybe he would have been found innocent and cleaned out the British Box Border Control and what have you. Maybe. We don't know. So I can understand it from that perspective that he doesn't want to give them any kind of money or anything like that. He doesn't want to be refereed by a British Box Border Control referee or judged by any of their guys or anything. So again, I get that. But there are ways around it. And I think people and fighters forget that you don't have to use the British Boxing Board of Control. I know it's a done thing, but not all promoters use them, okay? A lot of fights do happen out of the jurisdiction of the British Box Border Control. Look at the high-profile fight between David Haye and Derek Chisora when they fought each other at Upton Park, the former West Ham football stadium. Because of their antics in the lead-up to that fight, they were in trouble with the British Box Border Control, so they used a Luxembourg license. So there are ways around it. And not just them two, there's been other fights in that as well, and other events where the British Box Border Control it just hasn't been under their jurisdiction, okay? So there are ways around it. But when we look at it, there's only so much you and me that we can give the benefit of the doubt for Tyson Fury with a lot of things that he's saying recently. Not just yesterday in the interviews and that, but over the last couple of months, he has been saying some things that there's only so much time before we start going, hang on a minute. This is just getting stupid now, okay? I'm not at that point yet, but I'm not happy about the fact that he said he's never going to fight in the United Kingdom again, because I still have it in my mind what he said 18 months to 2 years ago, which was he doesn't want to fight here in the UK because he doesn't feel appreciated by the fans here in the UK and, of course, the press. And a lot of that came after the Vladimir Klitschko fight. Again, maybe that's one of the reasons why he spiraled out of control, is because he thought he was going to get like a big home welcome in and all this kind of thing. But a lot of people seemed to turn on him. The press certainly did. But again, a lot of it, and Tyson Fury will be the first person to admit it as well, a lot of it was down to his own stupidity, his own mouth. He was saying things that he shouldn't have been saying. Okay, so people did take offense to a lot of the things that he was saying and doing at the time. But if that is still part of the reason why you want to fight in Las Vegas and not here in the UK, for me, that's not good enough, because his fan base is here in the UK. We can look at the first Deontay Wilder fight in Los Angeles. We can look at the rematch in Las Vegas. Even the weigh-ins were pumping. There were so many people there. A lot of them will have been Americans. A lot of them were supporting Tyson Fury and what have you. but the majority of them were Brits. That's why you had the atmosphere that you did, not just at the weigh-ins and everything, but the fight nights themselves. That's why the tickets done so well, because of the travelling Brits and Irish. That's the reason why. Wilder doesn't have a big fan base where he sells out arenas. He's never sold out an arena. He couldn't sell out a phone booth. He really couldn't. But Fury and his legions of British and Irish fans who put their hand in their own pocket to pay for expensive plane tickets, accommodation, and all that kind of thing, plus the price of those tickets, which weren't cheap, to go over there and support Tyson Fury. So you can look at it and say, well, why is he expecting us to keep doing this all the time? This isn't the days of when Lennox Lewis done it, when Ricky Hatton done it for a short period, when Amir Khan done it, and of course James Aguirre, he tried it. But these aren't the same times. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Finances are quite restricted for a lot of people. They're on reduced hours, all that kind of thing. So to expect your fans to travel over each and every time you fight is probably a bit much. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people will. But a lot of people are quite unhappy, again, just by going on the comments, by him saying he's never going to fight here in the United Kingdom again. But again, we can look at it another way. And maybe I'm going a little bit too far with this one, but you tell me that it's impossible to happen, that it would never ever happen, okay? He's going to go over to America, where there's going to be some of these psychotic, deranged, mentally unstable Deontay Wilder fans. Not all of them. Wilder has some very good fans, but there are a section of them that are absolute head cases. They really are. Look at how they were treating Sugar Hill, threatening him with his life over this fucking Deontay Wilder. This buffoon. What? Are you really willing to put yourself in prison for this guy who couldn't give a monkey's about you? They've been going on social media and threatening the likes of Ishe Smith with his life and that as well, because he didn't agree with the whole Glovegate situation. He didn't think Tyson Fury cheated. They were threatening him with his life. I've had my life threatened by some of these deranged fans. Many of you guys will as well during the comment section and whatever else, and other uploaders and that will do as well. Some of these fans are deranged. You do realise their gun laws in America are very, very different to what they are here in the United Kingdom. Very, very different. And some of these guys, and again, let's be honest, I think a lot of these, or I say a lot of them, some of these Wilder fans quite clearly spent some kind of time behind bars at some point in their life. Probably when they were young. They probably spent a fair bit of time in juvie, okay, which is probably explain their lack of mental power, because they hadn't had the proper education, because they didn't have time to go through the educational system because they're too busy doing bird. Some of these people won't think twice about putting their lives behind bars for Tyson Fury. If they're going to be threatening Sugar Hill and Ishe Smith and many other people, the culprit themselves in Tyson Fury, who in their mind cheated their king, their god. And they'll do it because A, they think they're going to get some kind of celebrity status out of it. B, they're going to get some kind of pat on the back from Deontay Wilder, from his other fan base and what have you. Oh, well done, well done, well done. You've just ended Tyson Fury. You're a true Wilder fan. Again, Wilder, he sat there posting a picture on Instagram with a glass of wine and everything on the table with a gun on it, sitting back. He's probably just chilling out saying, yeah, I'm a man of my own castle. Okay, and that's fine. But some of his deranged fans will look at that and go, oh, he's telling us to go kill Tyson Fury. Yeah, let's do that. If he ever comes over here again, we're going to get him. There will be some lunatics out there that will do that. And Tyson Fury, he can say, well, I don't care. I'm 6'9", I'm 270 odd pound. I'm the Gypsy King. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. They ain't going to stop no slug going into your noggin. I don't care how big and tough you are. You ain't getting away with that. And there are quite a few unstable Wilder fans out there who will do it. And if anybody says, no, that ain't going to happen, hey, firstly, I hope you're right, but you can't guarantee 100% that wouldn't happen. You can't guarantee that. You've seen how mentally unstable some of these people are. Some of these people are even throwing their own friends out of the window and everything. Not physically out the window, but out the door, showing them the door, not speaking to him again because they don't agree that Tyson Fury cheated. For whatever reason, they're throwing their own friends and that under the bus, their own family members and that, in the name of this man, Deontay Wilder. I've never known a fan base like it. Never, ever known it. So ain't nobody going to tell me that is an impossibility. It ain't going to happen. There are some lunatics in the world. There really are. And there are a lot of them in the United States of America. And they have weak gun laws over there. Some people say it's a good thing, some people won't. Hey, that's not my debate. But they have access to these things. A lot of the crimes over there are gun-related. At petrol stations and over a dispute over a card game. They don't think nothing about Tyson Fury. And get a bit of fame on it too. Rock on. I'll meet him at the airport. That's what a lot of these people will be thinking. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to turn your back on your British fans because you've got a problem with what happened 5-6 years ago with Vladimir Klitschko, when a lot of it was your own fault because of your damn mouth? But it isn't the same era anymore. It just isn't. People support Tyson Fury now. He's got the fan base. He's got the attention. He's got all this kind of stuff that he always wanted. He's got all of that. And it's here in the United Kingdom. It's them that are going over to America to support him. Just look at the Tom Schwartz and Otto Walling fights. The arena was virtually bare-ass empty. Because Brits, as much as they will support Fury and Ricky Hatton and all these guys, they will only really want to do it on big fight nights. Just because you've got a WBC belt around your waist doesn't mean any time you can fight, people are just going to fill up the arena for you. It doesn't work that way. Because it ain't cheap. It really isn't cheap. Here in the UK, he could fill up an arena, a stadium, whatever, anytime. Doesn't really matter who he fights here because his fan base is here. In America, as much as, of course, he is loved in America by a lot of people. A lot of people don't believe in the whole conspiracy theories that Wilder and his fans are coming out with. But his fan base is here in the United Kingdom. It's there in Ireland. That's where it is, not the United States of America. If he thinks he's this big celebrity star because he appeared in WWE once and what have you, okay, cool. And he will have a lot of fans. But they ain't going to go to watch you go fight Carlos Takam over there or Ajit Cabiel. A lot of them won't even turn up for the Deontay Wilder third fight, if that ever happens. Anyway, that's my thoughts. As I said, maybe I've overreacted a little bit to it, but ain't nobody going to tell me it's impossible, that there ain't no way any of that's going to happen. And as I said before, I don't care how tough you are. You ain't surviving some psychotic moron trying to do away with you. You ain't going to do it. If I'm getting threats, if other YouTubers are getting threats, some of you guys listening now have had threats, Ishe Smith and Sugar Hill and whatever else have had their threats, you sure as hell know the main man himself, the guy who put loaded gloves and convinced Mark Brilliant, again, Mark Brilliant, he's been given threats now as well. You know fine well that it's going to be Tyson Fury they're going to go after, and they will think nothing of it. They'll think that is some kind of wish of Deontay Wilder, as much as that, that they want to give Wilder his wish of being pregnant, the twerkinator and all this kind of stuff, right? But disposing of Tyson Fury, getting that belt officially vacated, they'll do it. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the very next video.